Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness here, talking about what to do when the diagnosis is plantar fasciitis. So, you've had a pain in your foot and you haven't quite known what to do about it. You've tried stretching it, you've tried massaging it, you've tried icing it, you've gone to the doctor, and the doctor finally says, you know, I think it's plantar fasciitis. Well, first of all, it's a huge term. Secondly, what do you do about it? Well, when a doctor says that, sometimes they kind of use it can be used as a catch-all where they may not know exactly what's wrong with the foot and they just kind of assume that because of the general area it's in and the type of pain that it's presenting. There's not a specific test to say yes, this is plantar fasciitis versus this is XYZ. But you typically get a varying degree of answers from the podiatrist or from your doctor about what to do about it. One of the first ones is rolling an ice water bottle under your foot, and that can definitely help. Anytime that you ice an area that's inflamed, it can help to reduce the inflammation. However, sometimes that's not enough. So some people go as extreme as you need surgery for it, and the surgery can be beneficial in certain areas, but other times it can cause a lot more problems than good. And so a lot of people feel very confused on this. They get online, they start searching for everything, and they just never really find an answer, and so they start to live with this pain over and over again. It's every day. It's especially, you know, as you're moving through your steps and things like that, but, you know, in the mornings you get this pain. And so if my hand were representing my foot, then that pain would be coming, so your foot would come down, your heel would be here, and that pain would be anywhere from the middle of your arch coming up through the heel side. So what is that pain from in the first place? Well, the calf muscles that come down, again, my hand is my foot here, so your calf muscles coming down your leg attach with your Achilles tendon, which holds kind of all of that musculature together, and then that tendon wraps through the heel and comes around and attaches midsole. So in the middle of your foot is where it attaches. Well, it could be any number of things that's causing the plantar fasciitis, but basically if you've got extra tension through the calves, extra tension through the Achilles, it's going to pull on this sole, and if you're not used to walking on tiptoes, if you're trying to flatten that foot out, then that can cause a problem. So that's where they usually say that, if you wear high heels a lot or things like that, that you typically will have more problems with that, or if you walk on your toes more often. But again, plantar fasciitis is not something that's very cut and dry. There's a lot of variance to it, a lot of gray areas to what could have caused it and what is going to help it the most. So I had a woman one time at an event that I was at that stopped me to give me her story about her plantar fasciitis. I'm not quite sure what brought it on, but for some reason God felt that I was the one that she needed to tell that story to. And so she came up and started telling me about how she'd had surgery a year prior for the plantar fasciitis, and that things had just gotten worse since then, that it really never helped, it caused all these problems, so on and so forth. Now some people have had the surgery and it works great, and that's wonderful. Other people have that same exact surgery and it goes a different direction. Now that can go for any surgery that you go under. So my basic rule of thumb is if you don't have to cut into somebody, don't do it. If we can find a solution for it first, let's do it that way before we start to use surgery as an option. Now, surgery is kind of one of those things that has become very commonplace. Most people don't see a problem with doing it. It's just kind of a day-to-day thing, and it's no big deal. Well, anytime that you start to go inside the human body and start to move things around or change things, it can become a big deal. So it's kind of better to start with non-invasive, go to a little more invasive, and then if all else fails, go to the most invasive. So we've got several options that we can do. So as I said, if you think about my arm like my leg here, we would have calf muscles coming down. So we might treat the calf muscles first. Perhaps that's through using a device like a stick to be able to roll up and down the muscle. And what that's going to do is release the fascia tissue, allow that muscle to relax to where you can stretch a little bit more, and then you can work on some specific stretching for that area. Overstretching the calves isn't necessarily going to help you. You've actually got to stretch all through that Achilles tendon like we were talking about, that it wraps under the heel and around. So we've got to find ways to do that. So then maybe we try to roll out through that attachment point of the Achilles down in the sole of our foot. Perhaps we use something like this, or a water bottle that's been frozen or something. This I really like. It's called a foot wheel because it's got these ridges here. I don't know if you can actually see that, but they actually lift up, and so that puts a pressure in the right spot to be able to roll back and forth and release that tendon. So what if you've got a chronic pain of plantar fasciitis and the rolling feels good, but it's not quite enough during the day? What do you do? Well, Again, as you're working on this, it's kind of therapeutic in the fact that we need to be doing it about 3 to 5 times a day if we're rolling out and really working on the foot and the leg to make sure that everything relaxes, to make sure that we're not retensing everything. But then there's still those days that you stand a lot, maybe in the wrong pair of shoes or something, and it's just really killing you. So there is a solution for that. And this is something that you can do on your own, but you may not get as much benefit from. It's called K-tape. And so if you see the stripes on this lady here, it's the same as what you saw in the Olympics with everybody with all the bright colors all over their shoulder and their back and their legs. K-tape is a piece of adhesive tape that has elastic properties to it. So it actually it has its own tension. So as you wrap the foot a specific way to support the arch and kind of relieve that pressure on that tendon, then those elastic properties, you stretch that tape to a certain point and it helps to do that. Now, it's best if you can have either a certified trainer or a therapist do that tape for you. Like I say, you can buy it at Walmart, and I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. There always are. But if you can have someone knowledgeable in using K-tape actually apply it, you're going to see much more benefit from it than doing it yourself. Now, the K-tape is kind of cool because it can actually last up to 5 days, depending on what quality of tape that you get. And then, after that point, it'll just come off pretty easy. So that's kind of a benefit there. So what you want to think about is whenever you've got that plantar fasciitis pain, we really want to get to look at that, make sure that that is what it is. Then we want to make sure and relax through the muscles of the calf and all the way down through the Achilles tendon, through the bottom of the foot. We want to release all of that. And then if all else fails and you still need some support, try something like the K-tape. So if that's something that we can help you with, we've helped several clients with that issue. I'd love to set up a time to talk with you. Feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188 to schedule that time. But most recently we had a woman come in, and within about 3 days she had that pain diminish. We have a nice video testimonial of her that I'm sure you've seen going around on Facebook, and it just really provides a lot of benefit. Whenever you can get that foot or both feet to feel better, then you're able to actually do more of what you want to do during the day. If that's exercising, if that's walking your dog, if it's playing with your kids, you're able to move better, feel better, so you're less grouchy and other people want to be around you. But you can actually burn more calories that way, because whenever you're hurt all the time, even if it's a chronic pain, it's still being hurt. You don't move at your full potential, and so you actually lose a lot of potential to burn those calories and be more healthy and spend time with your family. So we would love to help you out if that's a problem that you're having. Remember that we've got our Jump the Gun special going from now until the end of November. So if you are interested in getting started with us and you sign up for a consultation before the end of November, you will get your first month half off, your free consultation, and our 21-day guarantee. So if that's of interest to you, feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. And otherwise, I hope that gave you some good information. We'll talk to you soon.